In Helldivers 2, skill is only half the battle. You need knowledge. Right now, we have a lot of newcomers to our cyber crusade, and I want to pass on some of my favorite ways to crush the Red Menace so we can send them back to Cyberstan. We're going to start off with some light pen primaries, because there are people out there that spread this misinformation that you can't use light pen against the bots, and that is just not true at all. If you have good aim, you can definitely get away with using light pen against a lot of different bot enemies. Some of my favorites would have to be the Liberator Carbine, and if you don't have the Carbine, you can use the standard Liberator. It's a well-rounded assault rifle platform that can definitely get the job done if you have good aim. The Tenderizer is another one of my big favorites. The damage it deals per round is really good, and the recoil is very manageable. It is a decent medium-range light pen assault rifle. And there's the Diligence. The Diligence is a marksman rifle by name, but it has a very large ammo capacity per magazine, and it does a lot of damage per round for something that is so innocuous. You can even change the Diligence around for the sensor if you have Redacted Regiment and you want to stay a bit more quiet. With light pen, you can definitely take out all of these smaller bot enemies. All the ones that can call in the drops, you can drop them really fast. Plus, you can really easily take out Berserkers and Devastators if you can hit that head. If you hit them in the head, they will drop really fast. And light pen weapons are really good for this because they have higher damage typically than the medium pen counterparts. If you bring a light pen primary, you will need to cover your bases with your other weapon slots. You might need some heavy pen, some anti-tank of course, but it's not a sin to bring light pen against the bots. As long as you have good aim, you can definitely take down a bunch of the smaller to medium-sized enemies. Now, as for medium pen weapons, I think all of the medium pen assault rifles are really good, except for the pacifier. The stun doesn't really make up for the lack of damage, but all the other ones are great. The Coyote, the MA5C, the Adjudicator, and the Liberator Penetrator are all really solid options in my opinion. The Diligence Counter Sniper is also very good. It deals more damage per round than the standard Diligence with medium armor pen, but with a much smaller magazine. This is just a really good, legitimate marksman rifle. It does a lot of damage per round, it penetrates medium armor, and it's just, in general, a good weapon. There's also the Reprimand, which is a really solid weapon for close range against the bots. In general, the Reprimand just shreds through medium armor and light armor, but you're going to need to keep an eye on your magazines because they are not that big. You can run out of ammo quite fast, but you thankfully will have a bunch of backup mags. The Halt is another really good medium pen weapon. It's one of my favorite shotguns in the game for sure. It's a tube-fed medium pen shotgun, and the damage is really good when you're up close with it. And there's also the Double Freedom, the super shotgun, if you will. It is just really solid. The per shell damage is so high, and the range on it is surprising. The Double Freedom, you need to reload it a lot because it is a super shotty, right? But when you hit with it, it hits like a bus. It's insane. The Punisher Plasma is another one of my favorites. It is so simple to use. Anyone could find success using the Punisher Plasma. You can just aim in an enemy's general direction, and as long as the bolt travels near them, it will detonate, dealing full damage and penetrating medium armor, of course, and it's just really solid and easy to use, and it's really fun too. There's also the Purifier, and if you don't own the Purifier, there's the Scorcher. These are just good, sort of medium-range plasma weapons. I like them a lot, and they're, in general, just solid. Not much to say about them. The Purifier is a bit more complicated with the whole charging mechanic, but it is still a great weapon, especially if you learn how to use it effectively, and if you want something simpler, there's always the Scorcher. And we also have the explosive weapons like the Crossbow. The Crossbow is, in general, just amazing. It's not only one-handed, but it has really good range, good damage, and you can use it to destroy all kinds of enemy objectives and whatnot. It's just really solid. The splash damage on it is surprising when you can land it right in that group of smaller enemies. It's a lot of fun to use. And of course, we also have the Eruptor. The Eruptor is a big, ass motherfucker. It is a heavy pen weapon, which is rare among primaries. This is a hefty weapon. It has terrible ergo, but when you can land those magic shots, you can kill a dozen enemies in one shot and even take down some of the largest enemies in the game that way. I can absolutely endorse medium pen weapons for the bots, especially because it can make the reinforced striders on the higher difficulties a total non-threat. They can be really annoying when you only have a light pen weapon, but when you have medium pen in your loadout, they become really easy to kill. Now for the secondaries. There are only really a few secondaries that I ever bring against the bots. The first one is the Senator. The Senator is a classic weapon. It is a heavy pen revolver. So, I mean, there you go. You can kill Hulks with it. You can kill all kinds of enemies with it if you know what you're doing with it. The Talon is definitely one of the best secondaries in the game. It is a laser pistol, so it cools down automatically when you're not shooting it, which is so good for your ammo economy and just general usefulness. You can one-tap tons of the lighter bot enemies, like their infantry. One shot take them out, and you can kill tons of other enemies because it is medium pen. The only problem with it is that the durable damage is very low, but you can spam out like 8 shots really fast and deal some good damage regardless. And of course, I have to mention the Ultimatum, which is, I think, my most used weapon on the bot front now. The Ultimatum isn't a good sidearm, like, you know, the Talon and the Senator, but it is just so useful. It brings an insane amount of utility to your game, because you can destroy a Hulk in one shot, a War Strider, factories, like all kinds of things. This is a great weapon for when you need like an oh shit I'm gonna die button, and it's great for taking out all kinds of objectives. The Ultimatum is definitely one of the best weapons in the game, period, in my opinion. Now for the throwable slot, we have a number of options. The Dynamite is definitely one of my favorites. It is just in general very useful, especially for taking out enemy objectives. You can toss it into an enemy area. It has such a wide radius that it can blow up fabricators from like 10 meters away or something like that. It's really good for that. And if you're really good at cooking this grenade, you can cook it perfectly and land it like right on a Hulk's head or something and deal some significant damage to them. Honestly, dealing damage to any enemy with this weapon is pretty satisfying. If you can cook the dynamite correctly, it is a force to be reckoned with. I also think that frag grenades, the standard frags, are a really solid choice as well, because you can carry so many of them, and they're just a decent grenade. If you need to get up close and personal with enemies, you don't need to waste large munitions on the fabricators. You can just go old school and toss the frags into the vents. And man, those were the days, weren't they, when that's like one of the only ways to destroy fabricators. And the new shield is actually pretty good too. It's niche, it's not an offensive throwable, but it's actually not bad if you have other ways to sort of blow up enemies and stuff like that. It can actually protect you from a surprising amount of damage, and it can even protect you from your own orbitals, ultimatum rounds, you name it. It's very good. Again, kind of niche, but I recommend it because I find success using it. And I also think that the new lure mine from Redacted Regiment is not bad either. You can use it to sort of lay traps for enemies, and it does distract them pretty well, so it can buy you some time. Just keep in mind that the explosions on these things is deceptively large, and the time to arm them is like nearly instant. You can blow yourself up very quickly, so don't toss them right at an enemy that's running at you. Sort of, you know, lay a trap for later, or try and distract enemies with the lure mines instead. And of course, we have to bring up the Thermite. Thermite is a classic throwable for Botdivers, and it's just really useful in general. Stick it to the back of fabricators, stick it to a Hulk, stick it to a War Strider. I sound like an infomercial guy, but it's true. This is a one-stop anti-tank solution, but you gotta get close enough to throw it at the enemy, of course, and that can be kind of dangerous. Thermite is still great, though. It is a huge reason as to why people always recommend Democratic Detonation. It is a rock-solid throwable, especially for heavily armored enemies, because it just deals so much fucking damage, and it penetrates nearly any armor in the game. Now we're going to talk stratagems for a minute. So we're going to talk about the blues first, because we're going to keep talking about the weapons. The anti-material rifle is a really good ranged weapon. I like it a lot. You can actually one-shot hulks in the head with this thing if you know what you're doing. And it's just an all-around good weapon, especially because you don't need a backpack and you don't need to stationary reload it. You can stay on the move with it, you can snipe at long range with it, you can even use it in close range. It's just a really, really solid weapon. And there's also the classic, the recoilless rifle. It's just, everyone knows how good this thing is. You can snipe enemy objectives from across the map with it, one-shot hulks, one-shot war striders, and oftentimes take down factory striders in just a few hits. So, what needs to be said about the recoilless rifle? It feels like cheating sometimes. And of course we have the autocannon. The autocannon is a classic. It's really good for penetrating enemy armor over and over and over again. And it's just another weapon that needs no introduction. It deals great damage, it's well-rounded. Yeah, it's just a good weapon. I don't need to say anything else. The grenade launcher is another classic, but the recent buff to give it heavy armor pen has made it into kind of a beast. You can take down all kinds of enemies with it now, and still deal really good AoE damage to smaller and medium-sized enemies. The grenade launcher is just really, really good now, especially since, like the AMR, you don't need to bring a backpack for it or stationary reload it. You can keep on the move with it, keep mobile, and take down a wide variety of different enemies with it, ranging from groups of smaller enemies to larger, bigger threats. The laser cannon is pretty underrated in my opinion. It deals really solid damage, it sets enemies on fire, and I just don't see anyone using it a lot of the time. It doesn't require a backpack, and if you know how to use it, you don't even need to reload it ever again. You can run around, fire it when it's off cooldown, and when it starts to heat up too much, switch weapons. It's that simple. It just deals a lot of damage at pretty good ranges too. The laser cannon is something that I slept on for a long time. I wasn't a big fan of it, but now I've seen the light, and it's pretty fucking good. And of course, there's also the quasar cannon. The quasar cannon is kind of like a side grade to the recoilless rifle. This does not require an ammo backpack, and it doesn't actually reload at all. You simply shoot it once, and it goes on a cooldown for a while. This is really good if you want to stay mobile and do some hit and run tactics on enemy objectives and, you know, large enemies. The only real downside is the charge up time. The charge up time for it can be a bit annoying, and it can actually get you killed. So make sure that when you're using this, you're being careful, you're employing those hit and run tactics like I said, and stay safe, because this thing is really effective if you can stay alive and get a bunch of good shots out. And there's also the spear gun. The spear gun is another weapon that I don't see a lot of people using right now, even though it's really, really good. It has good range, fast reload, and it penetrates pretty much any armor in the game. It spreads gas, so it deals damage over time after it hits, and confuses enemies, you know, gives them the gas status effect, so it kind of has a collateral effect on enemies. It's really, really good, and it even comes with a bit of demolition force too, so if you hit a fabricator right in the vent, well, that fabricator is gone now. The spear gun also, again, requires no ammo backpack and can reload on the move, so it's really solid, again, for staying mobile, hitting enemies, and sort of backing off and re-engaging. It's really, really strong in my opinion, and I recommend it to pretty much anyone on any front. Now we're going to talk about some backpacks, like the jump pack. The jump pack is an incredible movement option. I wasn't a believer in this one either for a long time, but it is really, really solid for leaping over walls, escaping enemies, or re-engaging enemies at a different angle. This is really, really solid, it's fun to use, and it's useful. That is pretty much it. It is just a really good movement option, and if you can get creative with it, you can do some magical shit. It's a lot of fun. And of course we have the supply pack. The supply pack is just an all-around great option in any scenario, especially when you're stuck under an enemy stratagem jammer or something like that. You can keep yourself resupplied with grenades, stims, and ammo without even needing a resupply call-in at all. and it's great for team players that want to keep their friends resupplied and in the fight for longer. It's kind of like a safety net. You can keep yourself healed with stims, you can dump ammo into enemies and then refill it, and you can spam out thermites or dynamite or whatever you have in your throwable slot. The supply pack just gives you more of what you need. Ammo, health, you name it. This is an all-around great item. That's it. The shield generator is another great pick. The shield gen is obviously just good for defending yourself, but it's especially good against ranged enemies. You can tank a lot of extra hits and a lot of extra little laser bolts, and it just saves your life. It will save your life over and over and over again if you bring it regularly. If you ever find yourself dying a lot against the bots, stop bringing so much offensive gear and try the shield generator, because it lets you take more risks and it lets you engage enemies a lot more often. And we have the opposite of that, which is the guard dog. The guard dog can protect you, but it does so by shooting enemies in the head. I like the standard guard dog because it has medium armor pen and it is in general very accurate and it has good range. I usually find this thing killing enemies before I even notice them, so I like this thing a lot. I know a lot of people prefer the dog breath or the rover or whatever, but the standard guard dog is my favorite. It just obliterates enemies. It's like having another dude with you. It's really that good. And of course we have the portable hell bomb. The portable hell bomb is kind of like a must-have. You know, you might need one per team on D10, D9, even D8, because those stratagem jammers can be a giant pain in the ass. And it lets you quickly take out things like gunship factories, detector towers, all those kinds of things. This is really important, in my opinion, for a Botdiver squad. Even though you might have other backpacks, you want one portable hell bomb, usually. The next time that you're stuck under a stratagem jammer without a portable hell bomb, you're gonna wish that you had one, because it is very, very useful. And we'll talk about some vehicles too. I think the Emancipator is the best vehicle for solo players, or, you know, single operators. The Emancipator is just a really good weapons platform, especially with the splash damage, the anti-tank penetration, the demolition force. It can really wreck enemy bases fast. It is not very tanky, granted, but it is loaded up with some really powerful shit, and you can devastate a whole base, wipe it off the map really easily. Or you can use it to help escort the other vehicle, the Bastion. The Bastion is tanky as hell. It can dish out some serious damage. It is loaded with 2,000 HMG rounds, and it shoots 120mm shells. So it can destroy all kinds of things. You know, it can take out drop ships, factory striders, you name it. But you're gonna need two people that are well coordinated in order to make this thing work well, because it is kind of cumbersome. It doesn't turn that efficiently, and the turret can only turn so far. It is a very short radius that it can turn, but it deals insane damage, and it's very useful for just mowing down the bots. It's really fun. If you haven't used the Bastion yet, because it's pretty new, seriously, log on, buy it, find a squad that has it. It's so much fun to use. And you know what else fires 120mm? The orbital 120mm, that's because of course it does. The orbital 120mm is my favorite barrage in the game, especially for the bots. It just has the perfect size and the perfect amount of damage. I honestly think that the 380 is kind of overkill. I think that the 120 is exactly what you need to toss onto an enemy base or into an enemy group to take them out effectively. It has a tighter spread, and it still does a lot of damage, like a lot. I definitely recommend the Orbital 120 for just general usage, especially against enemy bases or objectives or what have you. And of course, we have the Orbital Laser, which is the only orbital so powerful that they had to limit it to 3 uses a mission and give it a 5-minute cooldown, because it's just that useful. Again, especially against enemy bases. You can toss this thing into a bot fortress and it will take out all the fabricators, all their defenses, their turrets, their heavy enemies, and it will get you like dozens of kills while you're at it. It can take out objectives fairly well, and it's just a great panic button when you're at extract, because it can just fuck some shit up, especially those goddamn Strider convoys. Having a couple lasers on those takes them out so fast. It's great. The orbital laser is a staple of my loadouts because it just kind of fucks shit up. Now, as for Eagles, I am a big fan of the Eagle strafing run. The Eagle strafing run actually is very, very good. You get a lot of charges for it, and it does great damage, penetrates all kinds of armor, and it has good demo force. And of course, I have the Eagle 500 kilogram bomb written down here. The 500 kilogram, it blows everything up. It destroys everything. It deals tons of damage. Of course, I'm going to include it. It's famous. It's just use the 500 kilogram, all right? Just use it. Now we're going to move on to our greens. It's like eating your vegetables at the end of your meal. And we're going to start off with the HMG emplacement. The HMG emplacement is a very, very fun and very solid emplacement. It just lets you shred apart all kinds of enemies with like little to no recoil. It's long range, it's effective, it deals good damage, it's a fun turret, you get to shoot a giant turret, so of course I recommend the HMG emplacement. It's kind of slept on sometimes, I think, but I like using it whenever I feel like using it, and it's always a bit more effective in the mission than you think it is out of mission. It's just really solid. Now, as for something more defensive, we have the Shield Generator Relay. The Shield Gen Relay is great for protecting you and your group from all directions. Ever since they buffed it to be able to shoot out of the inside of the gen, it's so good. You can block off entire areas if your team's coordinating well with it. You can, you know, give yourself some breathing room to restock, rearm. But the main thing that you have to keep in mind when you use this is that you can't shoot into the bubble. If enemies invade the bubble and they take it over, then they effectively have the shield for themselves. So make sure that it doesn't fall into enemy hands. But other than that, this is a really solid defensive stratagem. And we also have the Machine Gun Sentry. The Machine Gun Sentry is the weakest out of all the sentries, but the cooldown on it is so short, especially if you have your ship upgraded all the way, that you can toss it away so often. Like, so often that you will not even get the full potential out of it because it comes off cooldown so often. It's so good when you are just constantly tossing out machine gun sentries wherever you go, because it will just lay into enemies. Sure, it only has medium pen, but that's good enough to kill a bunch of little and medium enemies, so the machine gun sentry totally gets my endorsement. But if you want a sentry that hits way harder, then grab the autocannon sentry. The autocannon sentry can just fuck shit up, man. It is really slow turning, and it has a long cooldown, but when it's in the right spot, at long range, it can just snipe groups of enemies, large enemies, and it does it really efficiently. It will just lay into them. The projectile speed is really fast, the splash damage is good, and the penetration is anti-tank. The autocannon sentry is just really good, but you need to know where to place it. Always place it at range, on elevation, away from enemies, and it will just wipe out whole patrols, whole waves for you. Once you put it in the right spot, you do not need to interfere at all. This thing will go to work and kill hundreds of enemies for you. And we also have the anti-tank emplacement. The anti-tank emplacement is, again, kind of niche, but if you have it on the right map, on the right mission type, you can end the mission in like 2 minutes flat, straight up. On blitz missions, you can snipe fabricators, you can snipe command bunkers on command bunker missions super fast. Like, you can end that mission type in like 40 seconds if you know what you're doing. The anti-tank emplacement is terrible for anything medium to close quarters. It's really not good at like bringing to like a standard fight, like a normal gunfight or whatever. You want to use this to snipe either huge enemies, dropships, or objectives and enemy buildings. All those kinds of things, this is what it's good for. This is not good for like a standard sentry or a standard emplacement. The HMG emplacement is good for standard fights, I find. The anti-tank emplacement is used to take out the mission objective efficiently and at long range. And we're also going to talk about some armor passives, because these are also important. Extra padding, you can't go wrong with extra padding. It's the default one, gives you extra armor with some mobility. It's just solid. You can't go wrong with extra padding. And there's also medkit. Medkit is another also really solid one. More stims, more healing per stim. You can't go wrong with that. It's great for people like me who are compulsive stimmers. I stim whenever I take damage, so medkit is definitely something that appeals to me. Engineering kit is good for anyone that wants to bring more thermite, more dynamite, more shield, throwables, anything like that. Bring engineering kit, and engineering kit also gives you better recoil management, so it's good for automatic weapons like the Liberator Carbine, things like that. The fortified passive also comes with the recoil reduction, but instead of giving you more throwable slots, it gives you explosive damage resistance, which is great against the bots because they shoot tons of rockets and those goddamn cannon turrets can be a pain in the ass. Siege Ready is one of the best armor passes in the whole game, period, no doubt. More ammo, faster reload speed for your primary, it's just in general super, super good. Having more ammo and faster reload speeds is something that will make literally anyone better at the game, straight up. It's just good for anybody, literally anybody. And there's ballistic padding. I think ballistic padding is kind of underrated as far as the passives go. Ballistic padding gives you less damage to the chest, less explosive damage taken, and it prevents you from bleeding out at all. So it's just a rock solid passive. It's more rock solid than rock solid is. It's great against the bots for the explosive damage resist, and if you're getting shot a lot, you're probably going to get shot in the chest. So I definitely recommend ballistic padding to bot divers, and especially because the armors that come with it are really, really, really good looking. And so these are my recommendations for gear and tactics to use against the bots. It's kind of a long video, but I hope that this will help you all in our new cyber crusade to march on to Cyberstan, because this is a big moment for bot divers and honestly just the history of the Galactic War in general. This is going to be a crazy, crazy week that's coming up, so hopefully we can all enjoy the new content that's coming out. I'm very, very excited personally. But if you have any suggestions for fighting the bots, please put them in the comments down below, because right now we're going to be facing some brand new challenges coming up against the bots, and people need to have a good foundational understanding of how to fight them. And of course, I'm going to thank my Hell Troopers: Swickety, Archangel Shipyards, Dirty Nightmare, Not Saint, Findas 16, John D. Roll, ODST Exotic, Melek Paragon 9231, and Gustavo Marcus 99. Thank you all for continuing to support the channel, it means a lot to me. And that is all I have for today. This is Grand Moff Togan of the SES Prophet of Dawn, signing off.